Hello, and welcome to Race 4, Season 1 of the SRL. Today we were at Imola, and we were having a bit of a different format. So we were having a sprint race determined by a short quali session. So the lap that you are seeing here was actually my best lap. It wasn't the final run, so you can see there's still 6 minutes of the time left. Unfortunately, on my final run, I did invalidate about halfway around the lap when I was a few tenths up. So it was potentially enough for pole if I'd have carried it on and improved by the 3 tenths I needed in the end. Bit of a spoiler, but I can tell you now we finished third in the quali session. But that's whereabouts we are on pace, so I can't complain at that. So we'll finish the rest of this lap, and then we will take you to the race start for the sprint race.
I don't know if half a second would have got me anywhere, but...
No, I wouldn't have. Is this you behind me, Max? Yes, you're on a lap?
Yeah, I'm on a lap, yeah.
Really? 8 places?
Yeah.
I'm going to stay inside coming down this hill so you can go down there.
Yep. Cheers.
Fucking quality don't matter anyway. Afterwards crashing out at the start of the sprint race anyway.
Let's go and walk with right, shall we?
Right.
Smooth invalidator.
Oh, right.
I apologise.
Right. Best of luck, everybody.
9 games already.
Wow, that's a start from us. Well, maybe mine was just horrific. Probably a mixture.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Yeah, these tyres are not warm.
What?
Sorry, what was that?
Very easy, that first corner.
Ah, right. Fucking idiot.
I didn't expect you to break that much before you know what the pod. Go.
Oh, Delta.
So as you saw, I didn't have the worst of starts, but Maxi on the soft tyre just absolutely flew away from me from the starting line, and that put me down to 4th. And there was a bit of a debate before the race as to whether softs would make it to the end, but when you see a safety car come out lap 1 of 11, you just know full well that they are from that point. So I was thinking I was going to be in the mud. I had Nick behind on the softs, and then Maxi and Coulthard both ahead of me, both on softs. So I thought, it's a downward spiral from here. But fortunately, I was running a pretty low wing setup, so as long as I had a decent exit from the final corner, it was proving pretty hard to overtake me, to be fair. So it shaped out pretty well. I think Nick was in the DRS or just about for most of the race after this safety car restart, but I just managed to keep it ahead on track. And as you can see now, we do get back up to 3rd after Maxi unfortunately spins, and then from there we just brought it home for the podium in the sprint race.
Take it. Oh. Still count.
Oh, good luck, everyone.
Yeah, good luck, everybody. I don't know. She said,
I'm stuck on the grid.
I'm
stuck on the grid.
Oh no, who's that? Fuck me. Caught.
RFM to 3rd.
RFM's close, yeah. Okay,
Yeah, I'm still not making that. Oh my god, RFM flying.
Someone drowned.
Oh, it's a bold place to try and go around the outside, though.
Keep the space.
Done.
Come on, RFM. For the lead.
Chasing you down, so. Thoughts still not moving.
Yeah, he actually flew out to turn 1.
Well, that was a waste of time, wasn't it?
Yep.
Oh, for Christ's sake! So once again we get a virtual on the opening lap, which was a shame because RFM had an absolutely incredible start. He started 7th on the grid and was in P2 after 3 corners, and it looked like he was getting over a shot at Tony as well, to be fair, because those softs started really well and the mediums weren't as good as the starting tyre, but obviously they come into play a bit further into the race we get. So I genuinely think RFM had a good chance of getting into 1st if we didn't have the safety car on the opening lap, but we did. And then on the start of lap 3 we have, as I was mentioning before, we have the low wing, so I got that run out to the final corner, had the pace to get past RFM down the straight, had the inside line into turn 1, and we just managed to pull in front of him. And from there, unfortunately, he did end up dropping back down the field a bit and got in a bit of a scuffle a bit later in the race and ended up retiring in the pit lane. So it's a bit of a shame because he was showing a bit of pace, but just couldn't keep it up, unfortunately, as them softs wore down. So after that, pretty much nothing happened. So you can see we get up to lap 12, Blog was behind us, as mentioned already twice now. We had the low wing, so even though he was real close by and quicker than me, there was just no getting past in the straight. And then a safety car came out, and annoyingly I get into the pits, I'm about a second ahead of him, get an optimal turn in, and then look at this, it literally slows me down in the pit lane to let Blog get released in front of me. So all the hard work I was doing by driving a straight line quick was undone by my pit crew being an absolute bunch of bottle jobs. And I'd love to say that we had an incredible battle and we managed to keep it close to him and overtake and have a bit of back and forth throughout the rest of the race, but as you can see, we have the safety car restart here. They get a much better restart than me. They're already 1.2 seconds clear before I even cross the start finish line, and that is the closest I ever get to Blog for the rest of this race after turn 1. So you can see the straight line speed brings it down by a couple of tenths, but then because he's just so much quicker than me through the bends and just better overall really at this track, you can see the gap starts to go up from here, and that is the closest I ever am to another car outside of lapping DP when he spins. And yeah, my race is just an absolute snooze fest from here. You can see Nick is behind me in 4th currently. I do end up pulling quite a few seconds gap out, but then he pulls it back towards the end of the race, and for the final lap he gets into DRS. And yeah, even with DRS, as now for the 4th time I'll mention, I've got the low wings, so I was just pretty much unpassable on a straight. So I genuinely think if I'd have stayed in 2nd for that pit stop, I'd have finished 2nd in the race because there was just no catching me. It's a weird, very, very weird feeling to have because I was slow compared to the cars around me, but I was secure in the position. And so I don't think it's the setup I'll use for next season if we end up racing at Imola, depending on if we take the track out of the calendar or not, because it just wasn't a fun race to have really. I knew there wasn't going to be any battles either from ahead or from behind. It was just keeping it on the track and basically time trialing, and that's not what a league race is about. So next season I'll come with a fresh setup that I can attack the corners a bit better on. Even here you can see that, you know, these are fresh hards and I'm just so cautious around all the corners that it just wasn't a fun race at all. Having a sprint race as well on top of it, it's just not good times. So fingers crossed we can sack off the sprint races. But yeah, we'll cut to us crossing the line now to bring home the 2nd podium of the day. And yeah, as you can see, it's a short video considering it covers off a quali, a sprint race and a feature race. So yeah, that just goes to show how little entertainment I had for the night. But I hope you did enjoy everything you did watch here. As always, if you've enjoyed the footage, make sure to hit a like, hit subscribe, drop a comment if you will as well. Every interaction counts. And I will see you on Sunday on my Twitch channel, live 9 o'clock. Be there, Jerome Zone, same name across all platforms, you know, gotta keep it consistent. But we'll see you Sunday. Thank you for watching, and see you in a bit.
On board with Nick now.
Rest in peace, Nick. Rest in peace.
Fucking.
Oh, he has invalidated as well.
Nick now, instantly invalidated.
I'm invalidator! Christian invalidator!
Unbelievable.